Wright is, and it is a pleasure to be able to relay some of that to you today. That said, despite it being my honor, I was going to complain a bit about seniors' uniform selection for an outside ceremony in May in Southeast Georgia. But apparently he has some pretty impressive connections and hooked us up with an absolutely gorgeous and unseasonably cool day. Although I'm guessing the guys in the sun are feeling it right now. Way to go, senior. Although I've spoken at a few retirements now, I still never knew exactly what to say. Everyone is a little different, and I gain more respect for the significance of a Navy retirement with each ceremony I attend. In fact, I've actually teared up at the last several ceremonies, even though they weren't my own. As I get closer and closer, I realize how important the Navy service is and what a retirement really means. So the substance of my speech needed to change. So as I was preparing for today, I asked some of my top advisors for recommendations on what I should talk about. I will do my best to put these into a reasonable speech. First, Cobb Dobler, who I also had the pleasure of working with at Squadron 20, thought I should highlight Senior's career. Easy and obviously appropriate, but as I did with most of his advice, I decided against it. There's just no need. You can read about it in the program, and you will hear lots about it in his retirement award and other parts of the ceremony. Strike one. Sorry, Cobb. Second, I asked Senior himself. In true fashion, he asked me to talk about the mission he loves and directly supported for so long. This is advice I will take because I am also a believer. As I speak, Kings Bay SSBNs, Alaska herself with the Blue Crew, West Virginia, and Wyoming are at sea, providing an umbrella of strategic deterrence that continues to protect our nation and the world as it has for over 70 years. Because of America's competent execution of this mission, the world has been without global war since the end of World War II. While supported by a triad of submarine-based missiles, land-based missiles, and bombers, the submarine force currently provides over 50% of the mission and will soon support 70% following the full implementation of the recently signed new Strategic Arms Reduction Treaty. Basically, we are holding the weight for the #1 mission in all of the United States military. To exemplify how important our mission is right now, I first have to explain that it was neglected in both the Navy and the Air Force for many years because of its routine success for so long, and because that success looks like nothing ever happened. It took a few Air Force incidents to snap everyone back to reality. Since 2010, all of America, all of the United States, all of the government recognizes our mission, strategic deterrence, as the #1 priority. The mission of our SSBNs has received an immense amount of attention and recognition since then. I personally witnessed much of it here in Kings Bay. We celebrated the 1,000th Trident Patrol and the 4,000th Strategic Deterrent Patrol. We hosted an endless stream of high-powered military and civilian leaders, including the Secretary of Defense, the Secretary of the Navy, U.S. Strategic Command, the CNO, Fleet Forces Command, and soon the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, to help ensure their understanding of our issues and get resolution of our problems. As my previous boss, Rear Admiral Richard, liked to say, if there were only one ship the Navy could get underway, it would be an SSBN. That is so true. Our mission is absolutely vital, and I can tell you that Kings Bay is doing it in style right now. Just a few points to highlight this, and Alaska knows this right up front. First and foremost, your ship, the Alaska, won the 2014 Fleet Forces Battenberg Cup for the top performing operational command in the entire fleet. This is a first for an SSBN. At the same time, the ship, Alaska, won Strategic Command's Omaha Trophy for the 3rd time in 4 years. Again, a first. And Team Kings Bay, that is everyone here in Kings Bay, working together, keeps setting new standards for success. They effectively reversed a 20-plus year trend of declining operational availability for our SSBNs and set new records for mission readiness, including nearly 65% operational tempo in 2015 for all Atlantic Fleet SSBNs. That's about as high as it can get. Bottom line, the mission that Senior Chief Wright loved and supported for so long is absolutely vital, not only to the Navy, to the military, but to the nation and the world, and we are absolutely killing it. Third, I talked to my XO at TTF, Commander Scott Collin, who's in the audience today, who happened to also know Senior Chief Wright from our time in Squadron 20 together. He gave me the idea to talk about the Chad Wright that we know and the traits that resulted in all the successes of his career. So I first met Chief Missile Technician Wright while he was supporting the first of its kind SSGN demonstration and shakedown operations evaluation of the USS Florida as part of strategic systems programs when I was the XO. This was my first shot at Senior's traits that he continued to exude while he was with me at Squadron, and I didn't like him much. He was one of the evil DESO team that translated nicely into his Squadron We Are Here to Help team later in his career. Florida was the first to complete a refueling overhaul on the East Coast and the first to operate the new attack weapon system. When compared to the operational ships performing a known mission, like all of the SSBNs that the team was used to evaluating, we absolutely sucked. Or at least that's how they saw it. They appeared completely oblivious to how hard the crew was working or how difficult it really was to develop the skill and proficiency necessary to operate a new ship class with a new mission on entirely new equipment. Or at least that's how I saw it. In the end, I grew to appreciate the work of everyone on that DESO team. They made us better and helped develop what became a very successful ship. Senior did the same every day with me on the squadron staff. I was a little more mature and realized the value of his quote unquote positive feedback. Although he doesn't know it, he helped me put together a list of ways to tell a ship they suck without actually saying it. Some of my best are on successful ships. Recommend you think of trying. Wow, that was interesting. You may not want to do it that way. Contrary to best practices, you need to consider. The expectation is, if you continue doing that, I think you will find. You get the point. Seemingly harsh, they are all very well intended, just as Senior Chief Wright is. This, along with the fact that he really knows his stuff, holds exceptionally high standards, and is unequally dedicated to the success of our mission, are what set Senior up as who I consider, without question, the best missile technician I've ever worked with. No offense to the many other talented ones from my past or the ones I work with now, but it's not even close. A great example of this success is Squadron's project to revamp a key component of crew training and certification for the execution of the strategic mission. With only a little vision, Senior Chief Wright coordinated with TTF to develop the ability to integrate countdowns with command and control training, then developed several challenging scenarios that more closely resembled real-life operations. Over 2 years later, today, these are still the model for strategic training and certification, and in my opinion, one of the main reasons for continued crew success in their tactical readiness evaluations and strategic exercises. Fourth, and in my opinion most importantly, was my idea, recognizing Senior's family. Alicia, wife of nearly 19 years, and kids, Abby and Alex, are everything to Chad Wright. I love seeing the Facebook posts of all of you together, happy and enjoying each other, especially all the motorcycle trips to fun places like concerts and cool bars. That may make me a stalker. At any rate, you are a big reason we are here today. Without you, none of what we reflect on today could have happened. The support you gave your husband and dad was the key to everything he was able to do. You kept him going and are the unsung heroes of his career. All the time you spent handling things on your own and living life without husband and dad can never be repaid, but he is all yours now. Finally, I asked my most trusted advisor and my real boss, my wife, what I should talk about. She paused for a second and just calmly said, about 10 minutes. I think I am there, so I will close. Senior Chief, you have served your country well. You directly helped provide the nation with over 26 years of peace and quiet. As a member of the rating dedicated to submarine ballistic missile maintenance and strategic mission execution, you were at the heart of our nation's deterrence. Your technical expertise, exceptional standards, undying dedication to the mission, and love for your family are amazing. You deserve some time for yourself and for your family. I wish you every bit of luck and opportunity possible in your transition. I expect you to succeed in the real world as you did throughout your Navy career, and look forward to hearing good things from and about you. Fair winds and falling seas. Thank you.
Thank you, Captain Hall. Commander Craig Gomer, Commanding Officer USS Alaska Bill, will now present Senior Chief Wright's Retirement Award. Senior Chief Wright, front and center. Will the guests please rise, and military guests fetch to award. The President of the United States takes pleasure in presenting the Meritorious Service Medal to Missile Technician Senior Chief Chad W. Wright, United States Navy, for service as set forth in the following citation. For outstanding meritorious service as Strategic Systems Master Chief in USS Alaska from March 2014 to May 2016. Senior Chief Wright consistently performed his demanding duties in an exemplary and highly professional manner. His superb technical ability and leadership led Alaska's Strategic Weapons Department to achieve superior results during a Navy technical proficiency inspection, technical readiness evaluation, and 3 strategic deterrent patrols. His mentorship, consistent sense of pride, professionalism, and enthusiasm ensure the department maintained 100% readiness throughout the demanding SSBN deterrent mission schedule, and directly led to USS Alaska earning the Commander Submarine Squadron 20 Battle Efficiency Award, USS Stratcom Omaha Trophy, and the United States Fleet Forces Command Battenberg Cup for 2014, the first for a ballistic missile submarine. His exceptional efforts, enforcement of standards, and personal dedication positively impacted every crew member on board, enriching Alaska's command culture. His outstanding performance has provided significant and long-lasting benefits to the submarine force and marks the culmination of a successful 26-year naval career. For the President, signed R.B. Kreitz, Rear Admiral of the United States Navy, Commander Submarine Group 10. Guests at ease, guests please be seated. Senior Chief Wright will now be presenting a certificate of appreciation from the President of the United States, Barack Obama. Senior Chief received letters recognizing his service from former Presidents George W. Bush, Bill Clinton, George H. W. Bush, governors of the states of Georgia, Florida, Washington, and Indiana also sent letters. He also received a retirement letter from the Master Chief Petty Officer of the Navy, Mike Stevens. The President's certificate reads, Chad W. Wright, I extend to you my personal thanks and sincere appreciation of the grateful nation for your contribution of honorable service to our country. You have helped maintain the security of the nation during a critical time in its history with a devotion to duty and spirit of sacrifice in keeping the proud traditions of military service. Your commitment and dedication have been an inspiration for those who will follow your footsteps. And for all Americans who join me today in saluting you for a job extremely well done, my best wishes to you for happiness and success in the future. Signed, Barack Obama, Commander-in-Chief. Military personnel, please be seated. please escort Senior Chief Wright's children, Abby and Alex, to the stage. The official flower of the military child is the dandelion. Why? The plant puts down roots almost anywhere, and it's almost impossible to destroy it. It's an unpretentious plant, yet good looking. It is a survivor in a broad range of climates. Military children bloom everywhere one carries them. They are hardy and upright. Their roots are strong, cultivated deeply in the culture of the military, and swiftly and surely. They're ready to fly in breezes that take them to new adventures, new lands, and new friends. Experts say that military children are well-rounded, culturally aware, tolerant, and extremely resilient. Military children have learned from an early age that home is where the hearts are, that a good friend can be found in every corner of the world, and that education doesn't only come from school. They live history, they learn that to survive means to adapt, that the door that closes one chapter of their life opens up a new and exciting adventure full of new friends and new experiences. Captain Donor will now present Abby and Alex with letters of appreciation. Certificate of Appreciation from the United States Navy. To all who shall see these presents, greetings.
Greetings.
To Alex and Abby Wright, by the authority vested in me, it is my pleasure to express the grateful appreciation of the United States Navy to you for enduring the frequent and long separation from your father, Chad, as he served his country. These months, indeed years, that he spent away from you constitute a clear and noble demonstration of his love for you and his family. And you see, he left you in order to ensure that you inherited a safer world, a surer peace. There are those who say a single man cannot make a difference. I say they are wrong. Your father did. He made our Navy stronger and kept our nation safe. With his sacrifice, with his service to the Navy now complete, he will be able to spend more time with you in the future. The United States Navy thanks you and your father for enduring these separations. Given this 6th day of May 2016, signed CM Gunner, Commanding Officer, USS Alaska Bay. Please escort Abby and Alex to their seats. Ushers, please escort Senior Chief Wright's wife, Alicia, to the stage. Mrs. Wright will now be honored as a Lady of the Submarine Force. To all who shall see these presents, greetings.
Greetings.
Know ye that in special recognition of the personal character and abilities of Alicia K. Wright, who, as the devoted wife of a submariner in good standing, has repeatedly demonstrated her patriotism, loyalty, fortitude, and a continuing love and esteem for submariners, and has frequently contributed to the morale of the submarine force by her cheerful willingness to render assistance to the families of other submariners when in need. I do herewith appoint her, with the consent of officers and men of the aforesaid force, the submarine lady of the submarine force. Know ye throughout the United States Navy that as a special mark of our gratitude, she is entitled to wear the submarine insignia. Further, she is entitled to all privileges of a submarine lady, and I do strictly charge and require all members of the submarine force to render her every courtesy and her highest esteem. I do encourage them to assist her in any manner with their capabilities whenever the opportunity arises by the normal tenets of chivalry or by actual necessity. For though at sea her spouse may roam, she valiantly serves her ship at home. Captain Donner will now present Alicia with a letter of appreciation. Certificate of Appreciation from the United States Navy. To all who shall see these presents, greetings.
Greetings.
To Alicia Wright, by the authority vested in me, it is my pleasure to express the grateful appreciation of the United States Navy to you for your unselfish, patriotic, and devoted service during your husband's military career. Your unfailing support and understanding helped immeasurably to make possible his lasting contribution to the nation. There are those who say a single man cannot make a difference. I say they are wrong. Your husband did. He made our Navy stronger and kept our nation safe. With his service to the Navy now complete, he will be able to spend more time with you in the future. The United States Navy thanks you, and I thank you. Given this 6th day of May 2016, signed CM Gunner, Commanding Officer, USS Alaska Bay. Chief Ostetti, please escort Alicia to her seat. That's a big step. A fine sword, a brace of pistols, a rifle or musket, or maybe a sea chest of fine wood and bound in brass was presented to remind the retiree of crews and ships he had served with. Senior Chief Wright will now be presented his shadow box. Chief Goodson will present Senior Chief Wright's retirement shadow box on behalf of the USS Alaska Gold Chiefs Quarters. Senior Chief Wright, the retirement shadow box depicts your career achievements in the United States Navy. It includes your many personal awards and the uniform devices indicating the ranks you progressed through as you worked your way up the advancement ladder. Additionally, the national flag symbolic of the nation you have so faithfully served during your 26 years on active duty. This flag was flown on board the USS Alaska in honor of your service. This flag was also flown at the USS Arizona Memorial, World Trade Center Memorial in New York, the Pentagon, AT&T Stadium, and Adamek Harley-Davidson. Flag detail, post.
Flag detail, forward, march.
The detail you see before you is prepared to present our national anthem to Senior Chief Wright. Members of the detail represent the progression of the ranks.
I am the flag of the United States of America. My name is Old Glory. I fly atop the world's tallest buildings. I stand watch in America's halls of justice. I fly majestically over great institutions of learning. I stand guard for the greatest military power in the world. Look up and see me. I stand for peace, honor, truth, and justice. I stand for freedom. I am confident. I am arrogant. I am proud. And when I'm flown with my fellow banners, my head is held just a little bit higher. My colors a little brighter. I bow to no one. I am recognized all over the world. I am worshipped. I am loved. And yes, I am feared. For more than 200 years, I have fought in every battle of every war. Gettysburg, Shiloh, San Juan Hill, the trenches of France, Rome, the beaches of Normandy, Guam, Okinawa, Japan, Korea, Vietnam, the Persian Gulf, Iraq, and Afghanistan, and scores of other places long forgotten by all, but those who were there with me. I was there. I led my sailors and Marines. I followed them. I watched over them. They loved me. I was on a small hill in Iwo Jima. I was dirty, battle-worn and tired, but my sailors and Marines, they cheered me. I was proud. I had been sold, burned, torn, and tattered on streets of countries that I have helped set free. I have been sold, burned, torn, and tattered on the streets of my own country. And when it's done by those who I have served in battle, it hurts. But I shall overcome because I am strong. I have slid the bounds of earth, and from my vantage point on the moon, I stand watch over the uncharted new frontier of space. I have been a silent witness to all of America's finest hours. I have flown over the top of the World Trade Centers, and after September the 11th, 2001, I was flown over the rubble of the World Trade Centers to remind the evil of the world that my spirit cannot be crushed. The American people will not be broken. But my finest hour comes when I am torn into strips to be used as bandages for my wounded comrades on the field of battle. Or when I fly at half-mast to honor my soldier, my sailor, my Marine, my airman. And when I lie in the trembling arms of a grieving mother at graveside for a fallen son or daughter, I'm proud. My name is Old Glory. Long may I wave, dear God, long may I wave.
Flag it down. And salute. Flag it down. Ready? 2. Left, right, face. Forward, march.
Senior Chief Denton will now read the Chief Petty Officer's retirement agreement. Chief Petty Officers retired in active duty. Attention.
Cover. 2. Chad, you have this day experienced that which comes to all of us who serve on active duty in our Navy. I say our Navy because your departure from active duty is no way terminates your relationship, regard, or obligation to the United States Navy and your fellow Chief Petty Officers. By long tradition, United States Navy retirees are always on the rolls, ever ready to lend their service when the need arises. The respect that you earned as the Chief was based on the same attributes that you will now carry on into retirement. You should have no regrets, and you should not view your retirement as an end of an era, but rather as orders to a new and challenging assignment, to a form of independent duty. Remember well that you have been and will always be an accepted member of the most exclusive of all maritime fraternities, that of the United States Navy Chief Petty Officers. Active duty chiefs salute you. Chief Petty Officers, hand salute. Ready, 2. Retired chiefs welcome you, and we wish you the traditional fair winds and following seas. Chief Petty Officers, uncover. 2, at ease.
Seats, Chief Petty Officer. At this time, contrary to a lot of prodding, Senior Chief Wright would like to take a short 5-minute break. So we're going to take a 5-minute intermission, and then we'll reconvene in about 5 minutes. So please go do what you need to do.